Alright, it's Roger with igadgetgeek, and I have another first impressions video for you today. This time it is the Xperia Ion by Sony. This is one of AT&T's new 4G LTE Android powered devices, and this does retail for $99 with a 2-year contract. Here's pretty much the standard packaging we've seen from AT&T. Now this does have a large rear camera. It is a 12 megapixel camera that does record in 1080p. It also has a forward facing camera that will record in 720. So let's go ahead and pop this box open, take a look at what all it comes with. Of course you have the phone itself. Alright, let's see what else all we get. We get the power block, actually plugged into the wall, has a USB on one end, and your standard USB to micro USB sync and charge cable, quick start guide, and a bunch of other pamphlets and information. So we'll set all this to the side and we'll take a look at the phone itself. Let's go ahead and get it on out of the packaging. Now this does have a built-in battery that is actually not removable, and it does have this real nice kind of brushed aluminum finish on the back, and is actually a solid piece of aluminum. You have your 12 megapixel camera, your flash, and your rear speaker. To access your micro SD card and your SIM card, you pop the top off, pull this little tray out, and that's where you place your micro SIM. So let's go ahead and I'll stick my SIM card in there, and we'll go ahead and get this sucker fired up and take a look around. You just want to slide that right back into place. Now I'm not going to put a micro SD, but it does have a slot for up to 32 gigabyte micro SD card. So let's go ahead and fire this up and see what all it comes with. Now while that's booting up, let's take a look around. On the very bottom, the only thing you have is your main microphone. You have a dedicated camera button, your volume up and down, your sleep-wake button. Now on the very top, you have your 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. And on the left-hand side, you have a little door, and underneath that door is your HDMI out and your micro USB to sync and charge your phone. Alright, let's go ahead and take a quick look around at the software. We'll go ahead and skip through all of this stuff and get it fired up. Let's first take a look and see what version of Android this is running out of the box. Now unfortunately this is running Android 2.3.7. I imagine with the specs that it has, it should get a ice cream sandwich update. It is running a dual core 1.5 gigahertz processor with, I believe, about a gig of RAM. Alright, let's take a look here at storage. Now it does not have an SD card, but internally it has 11.23 gigabytes available, so it probably started around 16 gigs. You get 11.2 gigabytes available, plus you can actually install an SD card for an additional up to 32 gigabytes. So let's go ahead and take a look back. Let's go into applications and we'll see what's running. And that should give us a pretty good idea. Okay, it looks like it's going to have about 600 or so megabytes of RAM, which should be pretty good. It should operate no problems. It is pretty much a standard Sony overlay that we've come to see on a lot of their Android phones. It's a little laggy. It is basically just the Sony overlay we've come to see and expect from a lot of different Sonys. Now I will be having a follow-up video where I actually dive right into this phone and really get into all the features and everything. It's going to be a good entry-level Android device, being $100 with a 2-year contract, but where this phone really shines is going to be its 12 megapixel camera. Now on my full review that I will post here in a few days, I will actually take a bunch of sample photos with this 12 megapixel camera to give you guys really a good idea. I do like, right off the bat, this nice aluminum finish on the back. It gives it a really, nice matte finish. Doesn't seem to attract fingerprints too badly. And this has been my first impressions video of the Sony Xperia Ion 4G LTE phone for AT&T. It does retail for $99 with a 2-year contract. And this has been Roger with igadgetgeek.